Well, 2+ years into the fight, and COVID-19 testing has gotten a lot simpler. As one international company cites it, it's now fast, it's now easy, and ready where you are. But is that a good thing? Listen in on the views of a leading doctor here at home. There at the drug counter of SuperValue stores are COVID-19 tests that can be purchased at just under $10. And while some may opt out of going this route to determine one's COVID-19 status, for those on the run, it does have its benefits. But as Doctors Hospital CEO Dr. Charles Diggers sees it, here's where that ends.
The reliability of the home testing kits is a little difficult because these kits are not ones that are sitting on a unapproved list, meaning they haven't been tested against standards locally. And so the need to get a verifying or validating rapid antigen test after the kit, whether it's positive or negative, still sits there.
And as Dr. Diggers explains, this then begs the need for an approved third party verifying a COVID-19 status. After all, that's the standard.
You don't become an official count until you test positive with rapid and RT-PCR. So to your point then, if you're going to escalate to RT-PCR and maybe a preceding rapid test, then it does have limited value in that sense. But for you personally, if you were just tracking to see when am I going to become liberated from quarantine, okay, and you do a rapid test and it's positive, so you stay in quarantine another 2-3 days, 5 days, you repeat the home kit and it's negative, that's a signal for you to go and get, unfortunately, a validating or verifying a rapid test.
Doctors Hospital recently reached a major milestone, having administered 1 million SARS-CoV-2 tests since launching its mass testing initiative June 2020 that began at its western location, expanding to include testing facilities at Carmichael Road, Mackey Street, Winton, Town Centre Mall, the British Colonial Hilton Hotel, and Baha Mar. Driving the count, what's called the Rhythm of Testing Initiative.
And what that looks at is several key contributors to the likelihood of testing positive for COVID-19. Specifically, we're looking at exposure to existing cases. We're looking at the presence of symptoms. We're looking at recent travel. And so this comprises about 4 to 5 questions, and persons complete these questions, simple yes or no, and the response is either that they're cleared, that they should do a test, or that they're not cleared and should quarantine.
And for those wondering where the hospital goes from here, its results manager, Shazelle Smith, says outside of resort and employment spaces, people are eager to just, get on with life.
If persons want to go back to having their normal events, weddings, concerts, conferences, and we're finding ourselves increasingly in those spaces doing rapid testing prior to the event. And as Dr. Diggers would have mentioned, this is the way we get back to our new normal, essentially. So that's a key space for us. Also education. So schools have reopened for in-person and face-to-face learning. And so that's also a huge area where we find the testing is key as well.